Testing. Let me check on my phone, actually, real quick. Okay, I really hope I'm alive. Really hope I'm alive? I'm really hope I'm alive. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Devin. Okay, sorry, just really waiting in the meantime because I got it. But right now, just going through to. Oh, wait. Okay, let me see. I'm going to share this around. That way people can get on. Hello, TFI Studios. Just, again, waiting around while... Let me go in, let me share. Live now. Streaming IDW Comic, written comic, IDW Sonic Comic, ranking, arts, ranking, tier list. That's me. Okay, just putting that around now. Oh, let me put the volume up on the Lo-Fi that I have. Let me know if that's too loud or too... what's the word? Oh yeah, wait, I'm way too loud that we can hear my voice or not. I'll start doing anything once I share around that I'm live. Okay, post on a Discord. Okay, post on there. Okay, posting there. Let me go on Jacob's area. Hope everyone's holidays was good. Okay, let me post on here, then Blue Sky, and I'm done. Alright. Should be done now. Let's see. Okay, we got 7 people in it. Good. Okay, let me just post one more time. Okay, this was voted. Okay, this was voted for you guys. Like I was voting on what to stream and what to do a streaming on, either ranking the mainline games or the IDW ones, and other ones too. But you guys on the menu told me to say and do this one, so here we are. Okay. Wish these ads would go away. Oh, never mind. Okay. Let's see, okay. They have all the arts, but then this one is an odd random one. I guess they didn't put the thing. Maybe because it's so recent. That's why they have it right there like that. But, yeah, I'll, regardless, I can't count. I'll do it anyway. But that's a recent arc, and I'm glad that I'm doing this one right now. This is a good time because since the recent arc already ended, that's why I'm able to do this right now. That way I can get it out of the way. Okay. Alright, so I might as well get started on this. Hello everyone, Mark Gamer Dude here. Going to be here ranking all the current arcs that have already been ended in the Sonic IDW series. So, okay, so right now, just recently, we just ended the Stage Set arc. So right now, we're done with all the arcs. The next arc comes out in, unfortunately, February, because issue 84 was delayed from January to February, which I really hate. But it's not uncommon for the Sonic series to do that, or IDW to delay a comic. So we have to wait until then for to see Sage debut officially in the comics. What you gonna do? Delays are delays. But yeah, so now we can get started on this. So right here on here, they have it set to S tier and haven't read. And I'm glad they had this setting because even though I am a big fan of the IDW comics, I haven't read every issue or every arc really because I didn't get into the comics. Like I was aware of their existence, but I didn't read every comic issue or everything. So I'm not gonna, what's the word, know every single arc that happened so far. But I will rank them as best I could and can from haven't read to S tier. So I'm going to start from, I would say, it would be best to go from beginning all the way to current because that way it makes sense. So, I know I'm already known than, like, the current one. So the first one is Fallout, which is the events after Sonic Forces, you know, after everything happened, you know, like the first couple of issues. I believe it ran from issue 1 to 5. I think it would be best to actually open, on my end, Sonic IDW arc list. Maybe like to show like from here chronologically. Okay, this will help me do that. And I'm gonna do that. Okay, this will help. Okay. Ah, stupid ads, go away. Okay, so like the Neo Sonic saga, or really the whole era. Okay, so Fallout, which is issues 1 through 4. I don't remember any of that issues. I just remember it was like early things. So, let's see. I would say I'll just put this in. I'm gonna say I haven't read because I've seen the images of the comics. I haven't seen all of them, so I'll put it in. C tier. It's just beginning of the beginning of everything and all that. So. Then, the fate of Dr. Eggman. I'll put that in, like, B tier, because, it's, like, the beginning of, Neo Metal Sonic coming in. I did see some of the comic issues. I think I even voiced, like, Sonic or one of the, like, background characters in one person's comments up. I forget which one it was, but, yeah. So, then, for Battle for Angel Island. This one, I remember reading, because, the whole Neo Metal Sonic coming in, then Metal Overlord coming back. So that one's definitely going into A tier. I love the, getting everyone together, the Sonic Heroes moment, everyone together and everything. In fact, I might even, like, open some of the panels on here. I might go onto Grabber Zone, and that way I can, yeah, right here. Okay. All the way from These are the mainline issues. I'm talking about the mainline issues. I am also gonna rank the side stories and, you know, the side comic issues. So let's see. Now, then, I remember reading this one, like, again, I was a fan of the comics, but I wasn't, like, majorly into it. So, again, I remember seeing this comic issue. It was great to see everyone coming together, all the characters here, super Neo Sonic, great, and everything. I really love that. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ian Flynn, for this. Show me what you're made of. Oh, brother. Yeah, another on-the-nose reference that he always does. Then, let's see, I love the thing. In this part, oh my god, I remember seeing this comic panel, like, oh my god, wow, how are they alive? How are they even alive? Yeah, so... I love how he's in pain and bleeding, but he's smiling. That's what he always does. Then more of the team one, everyone together. And I wish that we saw Blaze 5 Neo Sonic. It would have been great to see that. And then, of course, Mr. Tinker. So that's another thing, an important thing that came up. Rough and Tumble taking him and, you know, taking him to bring his memory back and everything. And I know, let's see, after this, we got Metal Overlord. It was crazy to see him back after so long. Then after that, Metal Sonic just you know, went back to being the normal Metal Sonic, nothing majorly and everything. Then, of course, the introduction to the Star Line. Yeah, I love this moment from Silver. And then the smiley face from Knuckles, and the meme right here. Yeah, I've seen that go around. Oh yeah, and then this part when they get Metal Sonic back to normal. That one was also a very controversial thing, but you know, him letting Metal Sonic go, that was one other thing. Yeah, that was not a good idea, Sonic. I would have just kept him, but of course, status quo. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, that will go into A tier. Then the annual. I don't remember this annual at all, so I'm gonna put in that I haven't read. Then this thing. Okay, now this in the Infection, the Metal Virus Saga. I know this was always Metal Sonic. Also, I don't remember that one, but I'll put it in like also. I don't remember all that. Man, I am bad at remembering things. Okay, so Infection. This was the start of the what's the word? Metal Virus Saga. Oh, excuse me. It wasn't the beginning, but it was just a beginning, like a whole minor thing anyway. So I'll put that in the C tier. I only saw like minor glimpse of it. I didn't read it. Now this one is Tangle and Whisper, the whole saga of when we got the introduction of Mimic and seeing the previous Diamond Cutters, the team, Smithy, Slinger, and Claire, I believe their names were. Yeah, I will say that was a very dark thing to see that happen, you know, what happened to our teammates. And it was a good backstory onto a very villainous character who is 100% right now gone. I'm very happy about that. But we'll get into that when we reach the arc of, you know, the Scattered Pieces arc. Okay, so excuse me. Oh, Revenge of Neo Metal was like a fan name. Okay, that's why. Yeah, someone put that there, I guess, in here. Like I said, I just found this one, but this was the only one of the ranking tier list that had every single one here, but the other ones only had like a minor bit of it, and I didn't feel like making my own, so that's why I used this one. Okay, so Tango and Whisper though, this one definitely, I love all the I love seeing, you know, him playing with Tango and Whisper's minds, everything. It was really, really good. And of course, introduce a new character to the Sonic franchise who's a villain. So, 100% goes into the Let me see if I can go find it really fast. Dude, where are the like the one shots? Out here, there's annuals, one shot specials. There we are. Oh yeah, the Kiata's anniversary special isn't on there either. Well, that one I'll probably like maybe get it in, like maybe I can upload it. Can I upload an image? Yeah, I think I can upload one. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so I'll do that later. So the where are you? Not that one. Yeah, Tangle Whisper. Here they are. I really love this the cover being underwater with maybe some tentacles. Very good. The one thing I love that Mimic, even though he's a great manipulator, disguising himself, he can never get rid of his things right here and the eyes. That's the one thing that I love that he can't get rid of, but it also makes it easier for him to be caught on. That's why he should always like transform into characters who have already brown eyes, but also should cover his thing. But one other thing, he should also make sure not to copy someone who has powers, because even though he was Sonic, I don't think he has powers. I don't think he can do that. It does mimic the person, not the powers. Let's see. Even though he's a great only has that knife as a weapon, he can fight easily and has no problems beating up Tangle like that. Oh, I wish he took the shot right there. I really wish. But of course we needed him. You know, there's actually one thing that I'm surprised. So far, out of all the other Sonic characters, Tails, in the main cast, I mean, you know, the main cast of Sonic's friends, he's the only one so far to have, like, seen Mimic face to face. Tails is the only one. So that's one. So I'm very surprised that we haven't seen any more glimpses of that. So if Mimic ever comes back alive, I really hope not. I hope we see him interact with the other Sonic characters. So far, Tails is the only one who sees him face to face like that. Again, aside from maybe like Eggman, but Tails, I mean, in like Sonic's main friend group. So yeah, Sonic Whisper definitely goes into the the S tier category. And Crisis City, I'm pretty sure it's a fan name too, or something like that. Let me see. Calling God, blah 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 blah. Oh, it's Mellovirus Saga. Yeah, Crisis City. Oh, that's that thing right here, 1920. People really gotta like organize them better in my thing here. I'm getting down to the beginning of everyone like running in and everything, last minute, all or nothing, or does it? Oh, here's Mellovirus like in general. Okay. So and there's like the individual thing, but I know this one is when the Deadly Sits are around and everything. So I'm gonna do like the Mellovirus in general right here. Okay, so the Mellovirus in general is 100% the S tier. It was the most darkest, tense moments for the Sonic cast, because it puts Sonic in a position where he had to doubt himself. He was surrounded by so many moments where he could actually lose, and it put them in a thing where they can possibly never come back from. And again, put everyone in like the darkest era. It's very sad that we haven't gotten anything else like this in the longest time, because they never, like, I don't think we're gonna get another arc like that, like, ever again. I mean, I wouldn't say we wouldn't never, but I think in, like, in general, we may not ever get something like that, like something as dark as that, because, this was, again, the one time where we see Sonic in his darkest elements. He's dealing with being tired, he's, I'm exhausted beyond repair, running around non-stop. I'm like this, like all tired and everything. He's running every day. He's let's see, what's that one issue where he's not this one. Oh yeah, this one. I love this panel right here where he's just pissed off at Eggman. Not Eggman, I'm Metal Sonic for going back to Eggman. Ah, Sonic, oh, wouldn't you know? You're in an endless cycle, the Sonic cycle. Status quo, he can never be redeemed. Same with this guy. So it ain't gonna happen. But, let's see, where's that one? Let's see, I think it was one of these issues around here. Yeah, this one, right here. Like, this is like where he's just right at his limits, exhausted, tiresome, then just, what's the word? Fed up. Also, I love this moment where Eggman is like, oh no, we'll be fine. There is no cure, no anything, we'll be fine, yada yada. And even though Starline is making sense, I love Eggman's like, oh, blah blah blah, please. Yeah, we'll be fine, don't worry about it. And it's one of the things that Eggman doesn't have to deal with. Ozzy on honeymoon over. Yeah, see, this is where he's like at his limit. He is tired of being in this position. Just 100% tired of Eggman. Just tired, like, I'm done. I'm gonna start right to the banter. Just tell you why you did this. Why? Because he was happy being Mr. Tinker and everything. Also, I like this funny moment right here where Sonic was making fun of Starline's clothes, and he actually fidgeted with his clothes right here. That's a nice detail right there. Like, my clothes are fine. How dare you? But then we have this small moment of Eggman actually missing the happiness he was with being Mr. Tinker. And Sonic noticed this. He saw it right there. Like, yeah, I see you right there. I know you must miss it a tiny bit. But of course, nope. Sorry, I'm the main antagonist. I gotta be this month for the rest of my life. But yeah, so yeah, and that's what I really loved about this arc. It just really puts Sonic at his limits, and oh yeah, this line right here, I'm like, yeah, that's bittersweet because it never even happens. Like, I'm gonna lock you away forever. It never happens. He's never in jail. So yeah, it's just one of these things that I really like, that is a comic arc really pushed for Sonic. Even though at the end, everything is, let's refer back to like everything's normal again, I love that we have this. This is an arc that I hope that they try again one day, because it pushed everyone, even Sonic and all the characters, to darkest moments. I mean, I'm still surprised no one in the story received any, like, what's the word? Therapy? Because I don't know how I would be after all that. Even, like, characters like Cream, she saw her mom get infected right in front of her. Like, how could anyone, even as a video game character, be like that? Be okay? I know I wouldn't be, especially if I was like a kid. But yeah, again, that is going into the S tier. Now, Crisis City, Last Minute, All or Nothing. Now, All or Nothing, I definitely love the Deadly Sits coming in. Plus, again, the Deadly Sits, their characterization in the comics, especially Zavok, 100% amazing writing from all of them. Let's see, where's one I can go back to? Yeah. Where are you? Yeah, the writing of Zavok in a lot of the issues in this arc is just great. Yeah, see, everyone at their limits. Yeah, I will say Ian, like, knows how to write, Zavok and the thing, but I know people were, like, controversial with Zavok being like, oh, he's boring, no one likes him, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Now, this is actually one other thing that Zavok does great here. And the Deadly Sit's still running around and doing things. They're still out and about and stuff. Now, let's see. I'm gonna put them all in A tier, but I know I had a blast reading all of them. I didn't read all a single one, but I know I read, like, some of the parts. Except for that one moment where Shadow was, infected. I'm not even gonna bother pulling that up, because I don't want to deal with all that. Look, I know Shadow was, in that issue. I know. But, it's because I know they said, why I don't know what to do it anyway. Because I know that they, had to write Shadow be written off, to be, what's the word? Not that one, the previous one. They had to write Shadow to be, you know, the way he was written. Though, by the way, Omega, love you, man. Love you, man. Anyway, so Shadow's characterization in this. I know they wrote him like this because there's a lot of things when it comes to Shadow in this story, in the story thing, but they try to make him, because Sega's very tight on the mandates when it comes to Shadow, because they have to make him be like the Vegeta-esque person, all edgy and all that. But lately in the games and some of the comic issues, they have like relaxed that a little bit. Maybe because they have heard from some feedback. Maybe some of the writers maybe did manage to talk to the team and say, hey, yeah, people are not liking Shadow. We need to change them up a little bit. So I'm glad that they did listen, because even I found the Shadow's thing in here weird. Cowards run, I win. No. I think, like, the only line I see from Shadow that's actually, like, aside from him, like, telling off Sonic, I think, like, this one is okay, because he's safeguarding the truck, but whatever. Aside from that, he... Advance, so I may shoot you. Oh, I love Omega. What's the word? Yeah, I still don't, like, really like how... they got Shadow to be infected. I know Ian Flynn did say that the reason why they had Shadow be infected, like, immediately is because since Shadow's a powerful character, it would be easy for them to, like, solve things and everything. Though it did, like, rob us of, like, getting a super, hang on. A super Silver and Super Shadow, like, all three of them altogether would have been great. But, what you gonna do? Let's see, the annual 2020. I don't remember reading this one. I think I didn't read it. Did I do a comment up with that? No, I know I did a comment up of the 22 annual, but 2020 I do not remember, so I'll put that in I haven't read. Now, out of the blue, this one is when things, like, started to shift back to, like, more calmer things, when everything went back to normal. In this one, for Out of the Blue, I know that, this one was very weird, because... again, aside from, like, getting the Zeddy and everything, this is when Sonic was landed into Blaze's world. Now, this was, like, had a lot of different things going on, because in this, Sonic lost his memory, just like how Eggman lost his memory. But, they didn't, continue with that. They had Sonic only lose his memory for, like, just one issue and got sent back immediately. Very, like, it doesn't mean, like, it was very strange that he had that. I don't know why they had it written like that, because it would have been great to see how Sonic would have been all, oops, interacting with the cast like this. Like, he's, like, I would, like, imagine hearing Roger Craig Smith talking like this. Like, I don't know how he would sound, but I want him to read this one panel one day. If someone can get him to do that, do it. I don't know what kind of accent he would use, but I just want to hear him read it. But, it's, strange. Also, even though Marine did, appear later in the comics, this, thing right here, Ian Flynn did confirm that it was, Marine that called Sonic Mr. Meadow Mouse. That was a Marine. So let's see. After that. And this is when, you know, Starline's already, like, starting to do, like, Searching Kid and stuff. Oh, yeah, I did like this thing with the Chaotix, plus, you know, they're always low on money, and they don't have a lot of things going on. They never have enough money to buy things, you know, plus they're always broke and everything. And this was actually the one time where they have a lot of cases, missing persons cases, so it made sense that they were hired to house a lot of people. But it's great. I mean, it's good, but also bad at the same time because they're overflowing on business. There's the 3 of them. Yeah, but also very cute that you know, the vanilla at some a Vector thing. Let's see. And I know, like, this was also, like, an apology. I remember someone, I don't think it was, like, one of the creators of Sonic who said this, that this line right here was, like, an apology to fans, you know, for how Shadow was written. So I think that, that line was written for that, I believe so. Then we have this thing right here. And then Eggman coming back. So I know in the next comic, that's when Sonic gets sent back, and oh yeah, when I remember seeing this, when this cover was revealed, people were like, "Oh my god, is this a new form for Sonic?" Yeah, I even thought so too, but nah, it was just Blaze's thing with the Soul Embers and stuff. Let's see, this. So when you go through here, like, it gets resolved, like, in so immediately. Like, I know some people were, like, very bummed about it, but they wanted to see more of it. They wanted more of this, and it makes, like, no sense that they resolved it so fast. Honestly, it would have been great, but, what you gonna do? I don't know what the process when it comes to their writing things. What's this? Then, Sonic gets sent over there. And I love how everyone's having a trouble. And here's another thing that people didn't like about this. People said that they didn't like how everyone was, like, having trouble to destroy what's the word? Eggman. They wish that they didn't like you know how people didn't like how Sonic is always the person to save the day most of the time, so they wish that even though they did help in the beginning, Sonic saved everything as normal. And then here's another thing right here, that they wish that Sonic didn't just let Eggman go. Like, after the Metal Virus, you'd think they would do something, and he said that he was gonna lock him away forever. That didn't happen. And then this line right here, that they wish that right here, Sonic's like, yeah, he still believes that Eggman will eventually come around. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Of course, we as Yawns, we know that. But, you know, it's Sonic. They need to keep the status quo for Eggman and everything. They need to keep him out in the, you know, free, not in prison or anything. But even if they had Eggman in jail or anything, they would write a way for him to escape at some point. If not the next arc, some issues down the line. So yeah, out of blue, it'll go into the B tier. Then, bad guys. So, bad guys, I didn't read all of the, I think I only read, like, one issue, but I know there's, like, the beginning for every villain being out there and everything. I think I would put this in B tier also, but, you know, it helps Starline be more into the spotlight, and also release the villains that we already know, Zavok, Rough and Tumble, and Mimic. Excuse me. So I think, like, it'll be in B tier. I don't remember reading all the comments, but I did see some of the panels, some of the issues. It was very, very good. And I like the way that Zavok kind of Well, I remember seeing this page somewhere that Zavok helped Starline realize that he can be bit more than Eggman. Shouldn't, be more than how Eggman is, like, that. So I like that Zavok did help him with that. And remember how I said Sonic was dealing with the virus that could make the infected aggressive, and he was fighting off artificial feelings, making the version amplified? No. When did you say that? If you did, why? What did you mean by that, Radar? What you mean by that? Oh, and then this. Chow races and Badnik bases. Okay, again, this was one of the issues. This was like the beginning of a reset, because I know that the comments were shifted to like more lesser, calm, not high stakes issues. Even though they did mean they were important to the story somewhat, because this was kind of connecting to Starline getting some more things for Surgeon Kit. This comic arc was and I know this was also the introduction of Clutch, but when I remember picking up these comics, I'm like, I didn't like have anything major to say about it. So I'll put this in D tier. Yeah, I know it's weird putting it in D tier, but what are you gonna do? Then Test Run. So Test Run, this was also an arc that I also was a little... And I don't think I picked up any of these issues, like, at all. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I didn't even pick up any of them, no. Because around this time I was like, I didn't see anything, like, cool or anything major. But I know that it was, I know the Test Run, like, again, there was, like, some comic issues where they had to shift back to, like, more lower stakes. Now, it's not bad that we have low stakes story arc issues. It wasn't bad. It was not bad to have them, because it's cool and good to have calm stories, nothing major, before the next major thing, because not every single arc has to be a world-saving or world-shattering or a majorly big giant plot thing. It doesn't need to be. But at the same time, though, it did feel like it was because it feel like fatigued or whatever, because after coming from the metal virus, it can be understandable that some fans were like, well, man, like, you're expecting way more to happen, something majorly more to happen, but it didn't happen. So that's why people were not so high up, eager for these comic issues. So that's why I'm gonna put that one in E tier. No offense to anyone who liked it, but that's my opinion. Now Zeddy-Han, ooh boy, now this one was a wild ride. I loved how each of the, I loved seeing each of the Zeddy Zavok. You were written so great in here. I love the panel of when, okay, let me see if I can find it. Let me see. After this one, Zeddy-Han's issue 40, 41, or was it 43? Let me see. Was it 43, that one issue? Let me see. Not that one. It was... I think it was this one. Oh, no, it was this one. Okay, see, Zavok, my goodness, I love his right in here. It was... Not that one. It was the panel... No, let's see. It was the panel where, I'm trying to find that one panel where he does... Where she does... where he just, Wait, did I skip an issue somewhere? Yeah, just an issue schedule somewhere. Oh no, right here. This one. Zavok is hitting, then this right here. This, literally, Zavok grabbing Tangle's tail and slamming her head and body into the wall. Like, I'm surprised that she is alive or, like, doesn't have a concussion. Because he literally, like, no, I'm gonna, like, really, like, that was very ruthless right there. That's when I was like, oh my god, Wow, they actually allow that. I'm surprised. I love that. I really loved it. So yeah, that one definitely... Did I put up? Okay, that one's gonna go into the A tier for that one. Okay, so Trial by Fire. Again, while I did love that this was like the introduction for like showing off certain kids like secretly, which also I'm very surprised that they got away with it. Even though Surge mentioned it in issue 67, this is never brought up again. Unless they bring it up way later down the line. They never bring this up again, that certain kid were the reasons that they started the fire, the reason that they started the fire. So, I'm surprised that this thing is still, like, not even mentioned anywhere. Like, this is, that they got away with it. But anyway, this one, it was there. I really didn't, like, feel anything towards it. Anything at all when I read through it. So, yeah, it's gonna go in my E tier. Where just, Okay, so, now we're getting into the comic issues where I know I started reading, because once the introduction of, like, some panels of certain kids came around, that's when I was more interested into the comics. So, plus, I'm a sucker for, doppelganger stories, so... And also, this is the comic issues that showcase like, raise my channel up more and got me into, like, Sega's radar to receive, comic, review things and stuff, so... Okay. Okay, so, Imposter Syndrome. 100%, and I'm not being biased because of my dubs, but I'm a 100% S tier. Again, the story for Surge and Kits in this thing is just, amazing. I love the writing for... each of them, and I loved how, it depicted Starline as this, like, really, bad guy, because he is someone, let's see, another one, where's Imposter Syndrome? I did not see it here, unless my ass is playing tricks on me. I did not see it here, why is it not here? I know I got it from here. Let me put IDW sign again, might be around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. So, yeah, because by the time in issue, 2, when we find out, issue 3, when we find out that they, were, kidnapped and brainwashed into these, duplicates for Sonic and Tails, we find out that, that, aside from them being kidnapped, they have no memory of who they were beforehand. So Starline basically kidnapped these random people and turned them into doppelgangers of Sonic and Tails. So that's very, like, dark, and plus, it shows that he doesn't even care that he did all this, because he did all this, one, to, like, prove to Eggman that he, had his plans better, whatever, but also that it shows that he has, like, no heart, because he also did not even bother deleting this footage, because when he is, what's the word, captured, he says, we keep having this conversation, but it always ends the same way. Meaning that they have caught on to him many times and watching this thing over and over and over, and he did not bother to delete the footage. So that, and the fact that he's even, like, do that shows that he's like, what's gonna happen? What doesn't even matter? I'm gonna erase their memories and reset them anyway. So that shows how big of a villain he is. Like, I don't know if Eggman will go that far. Maybe he would, but again, it shows how dark the guy is. Plus, again, also the introduction of Surge and Kid and their personalities and everything. Surge is already proven to be, I know it's obvious that, she takes inspiration from Scourge, and also because of the name Surge, and, originally that Surge and Kid were actually not going to be a Tenrek and a Fennec. They were actually going to be a Hedgehog and a Fox. But of course, they changed that because if we have a Surge the Hedgehog, that's going to be a bit too on the nose. So I'm glad that they changed that. Then, Kid's already proven to be a very, smart but also dangerous kid. I'll get into that when we get into, like, more of the other arts, but yeah. Surge and Kid are just great characters, and they're already fan favorites so by everyone, and especially Surge, since she's already been, like, in so many mobile games, but not Kid for some reason. I don't know why, but I hope they bring him soon. But yeah, S tier for Imposter Syndrome. Then, Battle for the Empire, also going straight into S tier. Now, the road to issue 50 was, like, a long one. There were some issues that felt like a little bit filler, but also it wasn't tangled to the plot, but some parts did feel a little bit like, but remember, the Sonic cast had no idea that this was happening behind the scenes. They had no idea that Starline was back. They had no idea that Surge and Kid were around. They didn't know any of that. They were aware of some strange things going on, but they weren't aware of everything happening. So they were just going in blind about everything. While this isn't a bad thing, though, because it is cool to be out of the loop. It's cool to have your heroes be out of the loop and not even know that some bad things are happening behind the scenes. Because, like, 48 was just the Chaotix investigating some of the things going on, but they didn't know anything about Surge and Kid's thing. So Starling they got away with that. But they only caught on with Clutch. And then 49, again, while it was just, it did lead into issue 50. This has some minor things with it. But issue 50 was the big climactic thing, because it was building up to a major thing, because we've all been waiting for Surge and Kid to meet their originals. I will say, like, I was waiting and so eager, because since there were delays in comic issues, and because every issue released like once a month, because Imposter Syndrome was releasing around the same time as the mainline comics, and like 48 were released, then issue 2 of Imposter Syndrome, etc., etc. Excuse me, I'm talking a lot. There's some water. Since there were delays, it took a while for this comic issue to release. But regardless, it was here. I'm glad I got it and I picked it up. And then the big meeting. Now, this is where also some things were controversial again. The way Sonic was written in issue 50, because they felt he was way too cocky and egotistical here, and he was like not taking anything seriously or anything. And then you can see, not here. Also, I do love the conversation between Kid and Tails, but aside from that, like, Sonic is just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I've heard all the same thing nonstop all the time before, because he has heard this before from other people who, you know, deal with some of the things and then become best friends later on. But the main thing I'm talking about is like this thing right here. This is the one that everyone is like having a big issue with. The whole big speech right here. And again, he doesn't know everything about Surge yet. He just sees this random lady trying to beat him up and kill him. Like, and what else is he supposed to be like, doing right here? And like, because I know a lot of people are like blaming Sonic, but in his shoes, he just sees this random lady who has similar powers to him come up and try to kill him. Like, in his defense, like, how else is he supposed to react to someone who is like, oh, you are my fault, I hate you, you're the reason I'm like this, and then Sonic would be like, okay, I heard all this before. Is this the part where we become best friends? Like, I understand, like, from Surge's point of view and our point of view as the audience, we're like, dude, stop being like that. She's been through so much. He doesn't know that yet. So I had to be a little bit on the defense side from Sonic. Now, the whole thing about this little thing right here is the whole Sonic's philosophy. Because his whole thing is like, he's not gonna take away the freedom. He's all about, freedom, being out in the world and everything. He doesn't want to take that opportunity from anyone and just let them not do anything. You know, that's why he always gives opportunities to some people, even the Eggman, even Starline, or whatever. So that's just his whole thing. But it does come at the expense of some things, because in a way, Sonic did have a hand in what happened to Surge and Kit. Because if he took care of any of the villains by now, Surge would have never been created. She would never not know about her past. So she does have a good reason to dislike Sonic. But yeah, like, I can understand people being a little bit upset with the way Sonic was written in that one part. But we gotta do one highlight of Emma Starline basically just meeting his end and being whooped by Eggman. But who knows? We may see him again one day. One day, if that theory is true. But yeah, that one will go into there. Now, Deep Trouble, I think that's when they run away or whatever from the... From when they were escaping Eggman City, when they were trapped there. But Overpower is when Surge gets her upgrades. So that will also go in like in the A tier or whatever, because that's like the beginning of Surge getting her upgraded thing. So the annual 2022. Now I remember dubbing it. It was a good thing. I liked it. So I'll put that in B tier. In fact, I'm gonna put a Q&A in the chat right now. Hang on, I'm gonna put a poll right here, hang on. Oh, that. You see, I didn't even read that. Okay. I'm gonna start a poll, actually, real quick. Which arts did you find best? And I'm gonna put some right here. Okay, let's see. Imposter Syndrome. No, Metal Virus. No, Metal Virus is Metal Virus. People are gonna go immediately. Loving it. So I'm gonna go Battle for the Empire. But I'm gonna put for all the latest arts. Rider's Arc. Scattered Pieces. And then Stage is Set. Let's just see what people say. There we go. Zomba to my saga, yes, it is on S tier, my dude, right here. See? Right there on S tier. Okay, so Overpowered. Let's see, that one. That will also go into A tier. Now, I didn't dislike this arc. It was good. But I will say that they kind of feel like a repeat of what we've been doing, because when this arc happened, we had this speculation based on the covers and everything that because of like for this one, excuse me, for this one we assumed that Sonic and the others would befriend Kit, and Kit would become friends with them, and then Surge would go off on her own doing her own thing. Because the entire time when Surge was by herself, she did not once mention Kit, like, at all. She didn't wonder about him. She just ignored the guy. Like, she didn't even pay attention. All she cared about was getting something to beat up Sonic again. No, we all assumed that once Kid was with Sonic and the others, that Kid would see that Surge did not even like care about him or anything, but nothing. Just the entire time. Like, even I speculated that Surge would just be on her own, while Kid and Kid would be best friends with everyone else. Oh yeah, then the hallucination thing with Starline. While I did like that, I found it very weird that it just disappeared by the time, in issue 55? Yeah, in issue 55, we don't see any Starline hallucination. And then in 56, nothing of that either. Yeah, I didn't expect honestly, I'm actually glad that they went back together, but, I speculated that it would be, because I did find it strange that she didn't say anything, so I guess that and the covers kind of fooled us for a little bit. But, yeah, so this arc wasn't bad, but I will say that, I did feel like a rehashing of things, because it was Surge beating and trying to fight Sonic, then, Surge loses, she gets hurt, and then in issue 56, the same thing. Here, she's fighting Sonic, then, once she gets beat up and everything, she gets beat up, then she's defeated, right there. Just like with, 56. They fight, then, they leave. They fight, then he leave. And Kid carries her. Then, at the end of this arc, this thing, Kid picks her up and they leave. They fight, she loses, she's hurt, and then they leave and left the other way. Like, it's the same, like, back and forth. Oh yeah, but I know we had that, the recorded call. I guess that counts, but, you know, like, more fearful things from Surge that we didn't get to see. But yeah, this arc was like a rehashing of, like, the back and forth of Surge dealing with the fighting thing. Like, nothing was learned or new for the guys. You get what I mean? Like, I expected something different from them. It was cool seeing Surge be overpowered. I did dub her, like, Power Surge or something like that. So that was, like, a cool thing. But I didn't hate it, so that's why I put it in A tier. Okay. Now, Eggman's Legacy. Well, now, what's that one like beat up? Was that the... Oh, where's that? Where's that? I can't find it. Where'd it go? Okay. I have no idea what Eggman's Legacy is. If anyone, knows what it is, let me know. I'll rank that later. Yep, Scrapnik Island 100% goes into S tier. When I first saw this, I thought it was gonna be a Halloween story, but they yeah, really? Yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't know it, but yeah, Scrapnik Island 100% S tier. I loved what they did with the characters. Even though I wish they did more with Mecha Knuckles, I'm glad they did a lot with Mecha Sonic. It shows that Eggman's robots can be redeemed and be on the side of good. And the way that they wrote Mecha Sonic was great. Daniel Barnes did an amazing job. When Mecha Sonic revealed that he was gonna transfer his mind into into Sonic was a cool idea. Like, I'm surprised that Metal Sonic hasn't tried that, because Metal Sonic hasn't even, like, Metal Sonic wants to be the real Sonic. Like, in that Reflections comic, where he knows he can't be real because he tried to get infected with the metal virus himself, but he can't get infected because he's already a robot. So I'm surprised that Metal Sonic hadn't even tried this, you know, to be the real Sonic. You know, switch bodies with the real Sonic. He can do that, so why hasn't he done that? Oh, that? Okay. That's what the legacy thing is. Okay. So yeah, but I'm surprised that Metal Sonic doesn't do that. One day, if they ever try to do that again, then that'll be the callback. Anyway, so this was amazing. I love how he's full of it, even though he can't say the word. We all know what he meant by that. Anyway. Also, this is a callback to, you know, the Super Mario Bros. Z thing. And since Daniel was a very big fan of it, he said that he had to throw that in there. And even though, there's one thing that I do wonder. Are we ever gonna get something like this again? Because since Sonic and Tails flew away from the island, Sonic may not be close enough to have that link with Mecha Sonic again. But if he goes back to Scramnik Island, will he have this thing again? Will he hear Mecha Sonic's some thoughts and stuff? Because right now, like, we haven't had that be seen anywhere. Because, well, there hasn't been a story with him anymore. But, you know, if we ever go back there with Sonic, I wonder if this will come back. I mean, I hope, because it's not like it can be, like, erased or whatever. Limits, they're meant to be broken. In other words, see, that's the thing, Mecha. I'm the main character. I can never be broken. Because in reality, there's no way that Sonic's supposed to be healing that fast. Anyway. Then I love this moment where he picks up Thing. I love how Madison is like, you talk like all that and we can't even get us out of here. But yeah, and I like this, and also I love that this one thing right here, that even though there is that mandate, quote-unquote, that Sonic can't ever cry or whatever, this technically is a work around it, because these are Mecha Sonic's tears, not Sonic's. Even though Daniel did say that this wasn't a workaround, it kinda is. But yeah, so something S tier for that. Now, Urban Warfare. Okay, so this one, it was a cool arc, and with also the introduction to Lanolin being like in the main cast, but there were some hiccups here and there for this one. So I feel like this arc should have been a little bit longer. Because with the whole thing of Eggman City being growing and damaging everything, it would have been better for them to have the arc last longer to show more of the damage done to the area and seeing the threat. Because since it can like grow and take metal and everything, and especially near a city, if it got close enough to the main city, Central City, that's where it would be more threatening. You know, more of a threat and everything. That way, because since we don't really see that much happening outside of the city. So I think they should have done that instead. I didn't dislike the arc, but it felt a little bit too fast, I would say. Because once this thing is gone, the city's gone. Eggman's home giant base is gone forever. And it would have been better to see more of a threat happening with this. Because if this, I mean, a growing city that could keep going and growing with all the material and everything, it would have been great to have it be near any city and be like imagine a news report saying, Eggman City is growing near and closer to our main city. People are getting evacuated because it's like hard for them to stop it from growing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right, Zero. That's too. But yeah, the pacing was very odd for that one. Yeah, so I think that would have been great. I feel like they did this arc just to help. I don't know why they did this arc anyway, because we literally had Battle for the Empire, where we were in Eggman's Imperial City, and then the next arc, we go back to the city and then destroy it. Like, wow, like, we went there and then we go back. Like, okay, okay, whatever. But yeah, I didn't hate the issue of the arc, but it should have been, like, different. You know, a more longer paced, I would say. Oh, here we are. Misadventures. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is the start of some things that were controversial. Okay, give me a second. I need to charge my laptop for a second. Let me plug it in. Okay, but laptop plugged in. Okay, so Misadventures. This was the start of leading up to the writer's arc and the big plot with Clutch and Mimic and everything. So, this one. So, in the beginning, we had, them dealing with, the Babylon Roads, and then, you know, for Knuckles. But I did like that they had misadventures with other characters other than Sonic. I did like that because even though I liked Sonic, it's cool to have more focus on other characters. I like that. But there were some things that were some hiccups for and I'm not talking about Knuckles and the Chaotix and Amy and the Babylon Roads. Like, those were fine. I was okay with seeing them. And, you know, I did like Clutch's plan behind the scenes. Like, he made sure that the Chaotix were busy focusing on Knuckles to not focus on him. So that was a good plan, and he got away with it. The Babylon Roads, never told them, the Chaotix, that Clutch hired them, and the Chaotix never figured that out. To my knowledge. I don't think they ever did state that at all, I don't think. But, yeah, so he got away with that. But, yeah, it shows how smart Clutch was. Oh, hey. Now, and of course, the big return, of Searching Kid being, introduced into the, Restoration. That was one other thing that I did like, because I was happy to see them again. But the big oopsie, I would say, is the whole Mimic, duo Mimic thing. That one, I will say, lasted a bit longer than it should have. Now, I know in issue 64, the infamous issue 64, this is the one that everyone does absolutely despise because of how they had, handled, Silver, Whisper, and Lanolin. Like, I understood that they needed to make sure that, Mimic, aka Duo, stayed hidden. But they should have went about it a different way. Like, instead of having Whisper and Silver immediately catch on that it's him, do something else. Like, have someone else think it is, or have, you know, something to make sure that he doesn't go, you know, catch on. Like, him, accidentally kicking with Silver, showing his true eyes when he's, as Duo. Like, that, he shouldn't have done that. They should have let him hide his true identity until, like, way later on. That's when they would catch on. But even then, I feel like this thing lasted way longer than it should have when it comes to Duo, because we as the audience, we were aware of Duo Mimic for so flipping long, and then all the way to the writer's arc, that's when he gets revealed. Like, it lasted for that long. Oh my god. I was not happy about that. And this issue, I hated it so much. Like, I'm actually even glad I'm not dubbing it, because I hated it that much. But I would say, like, the Misadventures arc, I would say it's gonna go C tier, because even though I liked issue 67 and 62 and, you know, with the Chaotix and Knuckles and the Babylon Roads, I just It was just bad. And then I did not like issue 68. Like, that was a bad way for them to end off the Misadventures arc. Like, it had nothing to do with the plot aside from them testing the airboards. Like, none of that applied to the writer's arc. I mean, to the to like anything or like anything at all. So it was very random. And I don't think anyone's gonna be like, and they're not even going back to that area where they found the emerald anyway. So what was the point of that? What was the point of that issue? What was the point of it? And it especially sucked because this was the start of the hiatus, because it went on for like a long, like a 3-month hiatus or whatever, because they were focusing on the Fang the Hunter classic series, which I also read, but it wasn't really anything major. Like, it was just to tie in to Sonic Superstars and explain how Fang was separated from Bean and Bark. So yeah, so like I just didn't really like that. And plus, a big revelation if you already don't know. Let me show real quick. Sonic IDW, I'm in Stanley. New Frontiers timeline. A couple days ago, I asked Evan Stanley, when the Frontiers happened, and Evan basically revealed that Frontiers, because of how they handle the emeralds, it will take place sometime shortly before issue 68. So that would mean the Frontiers happen sometime before this issue. This issue right here. Before this issue, Frontiers happen. I don't know how, but also, like, open the door to a lot of questions and everything. Ugh, I don't even want to get into it, because then I'll be here all night. Yeah, it was very confusing, though. Of course, it's not really Evan or Ian's fault, because it's Sega doing that. Because if that's the case, then Sage, where was she the entire time? And what about Tails, Amy, and Knuckles' individual journeys? And why was no any like mention of Frontiers at all? There was gonna be some dialogue talking about it, but Evan said that Sega told them to remove it to keep things continuity light, and it would be, and that's like, I don't know why they would do that, because is it really that bad to let us know? Like, put it in like an editor's note. That's not really a bad idea. It's not really a big deal. That's not gonna like do anything bad. Like, come on, like nothing bad. Like, come on, really. Like I've known people who only play the games but don't read the comics. What if they want to come into the comments and then they see Sage right there, like, oh, this place take place on the Frontiers, and then they see the editor's note. Oh yeah, it does. Hello. Really not that bad. If you come up with a solution, dude, tell me as soon as you can. Anyway, so yeah, back to the tier list thing. So 900 Adventure, I read it. It's okay. I didn't really like see anything major with it. Also, the fact that it says 900th Adventure, that really raises a lot of questions, because if they've been on 900 adventures, they should be way older than they should appear, because that would mean they had like major adventures every single day. Ugh, but it's a video game. I'm not gonna look way into it. Okay. I don't know what Adventure Awaits is. I don't know what that is. I can't remember. Let me know if you guys know. So Endless Summer. I read that one. It was a cute issue. A side story. But I will say though, I wish they had Team Sonic be there, not just Tangle Whisper and Jewel. Because it kind of feels like Sonic was just like thrown in there just to be in there. And since we had the Battle on Roads, it would have been great to have them, to have the whole Team Sonic and Team Battle on Rogue interacting with each other again. But yeah, so this one was okay. I'll put it in the C tier, but I like the interaction with the cast. Okay, then Chaotic Halloween. This one, again, I wish they focused more on the Chaotic tier because I feel like even though Chaotic did get a little bit of spotlight, why were Sonic and Tails there? Why were they there? They literally had no reason to be there at all. It's like they were thrown in there just because they were Sonic and Tails. Like, I get it. They're popular characters, but hello, so are the Chaotix. People, come on. You can have issues without Sonic and Tails in there. Come on. Okay, so I'll put that in C tier as well. Now, Extreme Competition. That is the Writer's Arc. So, the Writer's Arc. I love this arc. Even though it took a while, I did love it. The stakes were very high near the end because Clutch literally had the ship set to crash into the city, which is already set to explode. So that would mean a lot of people, you know what. So that was very, very intense, and there was and it did have an impact on the main story because the ship did crash into the restoration area. It left an impact on the whole city because, not the whole city, I mean the whole restoration area for everyone, because they had to make sure everyone was okay and everything. Also, I hope they take it apart one day sometime because they can't just leave it there. And of course, the duo mimic reveal. I will say though, I wish they what's the word? Waited a bit to reveal duo because it felt like they boom revealed them right in the beginning because they had other things to worry about, you know, Clutch and everything and the ship. I get it, but I wish they didn't reveal them like that fast. I'm glad they did, but at the same time, a little bit more time would have been great. Oh, it's me. And of course, I like that they had all the cast in Rider's attire. It makes me hopeful that if there ever is another Rider's game, that they put them in Rider's attire because everyone looks so great in the Rider's gear. Like, I was very happy to see all of them in different attire this time around, so it's cool to have them have that. And also the Rider's gear that they all chose, like, Tango would definitely be riding skates, and Surge 100% would definitely ride a biker gear stuff. So, great all around. But it was cool to see the Sonic cast in different attire for once, not just their usual attire that they always wear. So that one goes straight into the S tier. Now, Winter Jam. Yeah, it was cute. That's all I gotta say on it. It was cute, but nothing too major. The only thing that I'll say about it is that I love seeing Sonic lose his mind because he's always the guy who always wins with his speed. He always wins. Like, how am I'm losing? I never lose. Oh man, it was actually like very like reassuring. Like this, seeing Sonic actually loses his mind because he is losing. I'm the main character. I should have won. Yes, suffer, Sonic. Yes, I'm the main character. I'm losing. I don't know why, but every time I saw that, I'm like, I'm enjoying this way too much, but I love it so much. Like, imagine Shadow seeing this. If Shadow was in this thing and saw this, like, he would definitely have a, he would love seeing this. Anyway. Okay, Spring Broken. That's the spring special. That was the most. This one was the most special I've ever read. Like, nothing major. Like, I didn't expect like a major thing, but it was The only thing I liked is the facial expressions, and then Tails and Vector's interactions, and Vector's personality here. And Silver being Silver, being a dork, he's doing that. And then Sonic and Vector's like, and Sonic's trying to like get in on the thing, but Vector's like, no, I need to. I'm the lead detective here. Yeah, Vector, you can't catch up with Sonic. But yeah, that's the only things I liked about it. Everything else was like, why? This one was like, Yeah, minor. So nothing major with this. Like, this thing was just that's a normal issue. Nothing too crazy, but was this a really big thing? I didn't expect anything major, but Okay, I was putting in like detail for that one. Okay. Don't know why this is there twice. Saga Misadventure. It's the same thing. But the collision course like the same thing. Whatever. I don't know why that is there. Okay, the annual 2024. This one I know some people were like, why was this a thing? Some people were not happy about this one for some reason. Don't know why. I liked it because I liked seeing, but this one I liked because this one it had Surge and Kit do like a little, well, more so Surge have like a bit of a more character arc, where even though she knows that Starline's whole Sonic cycle thing, that it is right, that he was right about it, how Eggman causes trouble, Sonic stops him, everyone celebrates, rinse and repeat. And Sonic is letting it happen, they keep letting him keep letting it happen, and how everyone does less things keep going on, nothing changing, but she knows that even though she knows that they're all lame, weak, and stupid, she knows that the people outside there, all the civilians and everyone, they're not bad people, because she used to be angry at the world and everyone for, turning on her, not looking for her because she doesn't remember who her past was, but she can't really get angry at the world because the world's too inept to take care of themselves. They didn't do anything to Surgeon Kid because he can't do anything. So that was a good character arc for her, because in this, remember, in the writer's arc, I forgot to mention that it was a character moment for her and Kid because they were able to become heroes, quote unquote. Yeah, in issue 70 is when they get their first experience and appraised for being heroes. So, and there was a big moment for them because it kind of helped them see more of a better light. They were actually getting praised instead of like being like people from being scared of her and stuff. And I was very, very like happy to see that. Also, one side note, I wish we got more interaction between Surge and Jet, but I think Evan Stanley said that he couldn't do that because they're like already too many characters and a big story going on. Yeah, so that's why we didn't get any Surge and Jet interactions, which sucks. But yeah. Remember, this was the arc where they began to embrace the heroism. But even though they're doing about it the wrong way, because Surge is just in it for the praise, but it's trying at the same time. So it was good to see them have that. And though this is the also big part where Kit is gonna be doing things behind the scenes for Surge, and that is a big worrisome thing. I worry for when she finds out, because she is going to find out eventually. I'm very afraid of what's gonna happen. Then we had this one minor thing with Knuckles. This is actually very confusing because at the end of this, it says something like that they experienced an adventure or something, and then it says to be continued in issue 80. What? We're already past issue 80 and nothing happened. Nothing happened. So, what happened there? I don't know. Did someone ask Evan about this? Can someone ask Evan about this, actually, if you can? Like, why? Was this like a story thing that we missed? Or was this a side story that didn't have anything meaning? Because why would it say to be continued in issue 80 when, like, nothing happened? And in the upcoming arc with Sage, there's no indication that Tails and Amy are involved. So, I don't get it. Really don't get it. And then the thing with Mimic, you know, I'm surprised that this happened before Urban Warfare, but yeah. Again, this thing was cool. I didn't mind it. So this one goes into the B tier for me, at least. Okay, now we're on to the last two arcs right now. Since for some reason the Chaotix special is not there, I would put the Chaotix one in the A tier, because that issue I loved so much. That one was so great. I loved seeing the Chaotix in their prime, and I love that they made sure that Sonic didn't take the spotlight from them. They were 100% in the big no. They were 100% there. Wait, let me see. Actually, I saw them there. I could. Let me see. Hang on. I think. Yeah, screw it, I can do that. Okay, perfect. Okay, Chaotix issue. Go straight into A tier. Okay, so this one was very good. I love seeing the writing of the characters here. Daniel Barnes, once again, not out of the park. The Chaotix, all in character. I love seeing Amy be all, like, wanting to just be 100% one-on-one with her and Sonic. I loved her characterization in this. And then the way they wrote each of the Chaotix stories, the coloring, everything fit, because this fits Vector to a T, the dark, brooding mystery thing, and then SBO's, manga, anime-inspired kind of thing, perfect, and then Charmy's, childlike, drawings and how they're all speaking, like, this is all through his eyes, saying that, for SBO, I met the people of Casserole City, and then having Vector say, forget about it, I am loud, have a big mouth, like, that, and, like, this is all through Charmy's eyes, so I love that. Oh, really? That was the, to be in relation to a roll to issue 100 and all stories planned for this new Korean saga. Oh, okay. No, so I'm guessing, that part with Tails, Amy, and the plane, something happens with it, I guess? If that, ever occurs. I guess we'll see. Then again, the Master Emerald isn't in the possession of the main villain yet. So what if that has them being there, and then the next comic has them, you know, has the villain coming there? What if that's like a lead up to that? I'll remember this theory if it comes true. If it comes true, I'll come at this live stream and say like, hey, I called it. Anyway, so I love this story, and I also love the new villain. It's the introduction of a new female villain. But we don't have that much. All we have is Surge, and even though Surge is anti-hero right now, the other one we only have right now is Xena. So it was good to have more female villains in here. Though I will say it is very, very, very weird that all of our current female antagonists are all green. Like, why are all our female antagonists all green? Why are they all green? Very strange. But yeah, I love this one, and I loved how this villain, Enigma, she is a villain specific for the Chaotix. She is a villain for them, not for, Sonic or anyone else. It's for Vector, Espio, and Charmy. Them. Also, I love Vector's face right here. I love this moment. We did not even know that he was onto Megane. It was 100%, good. I love this moment. It shows how good of a detective he is. So, very smart on Vector. And I hope that we see more fight scenes with her and Espio, because they clearly have, like, ninja-esque training with each other. Enigma clearly has ninja training, so I would love to see them fight again, please. I hope they bring her back one day. So yeah, this one's a great issue, great annual. So that's why I put it in the A tier. Okay, now we're on to our last two. Cause and Effect. This one also goes into A tier. So this is like the things that are happening after the events of the big arc. So this one was in relation, I think I have it here. Yeah. This one was in relation to them picking up all the pieces and solving this. I think what Evan and Ian said, that this was like them cleaning up all the things that all the plot lines they already did, that way they can move on to newer arts with new things. So right here, they're just filling up the thing. This part right here with them resolving the whole thing after Mimic and everything, Duo being Mimic and everything. So I did love this part, but Lana apologizing to Silver and especially Whisper, and Mimic and Whisper planning to end Mimic. But of course right here, Tangle's like, no, we're gonna stop Mimic. And Tangle's like, yeah, we're gonna stop Mimic. Hey Silver, wanna stop Mimic? Yeah. we all knew she knew, we all knew what she meant. Come on, we all wanted it to happen anyway. So, but also, this arc also showed more things about Clutch, because one, Clutch is alive, but also that he's under Eggman's lock and key with that thing on his head. So, I wonder if that's gonna be brought back anytime soon, if he ever comes back again. But I don't know, how do you feel about Clutch being, right now, Eggman's lock and key? He should have suspected that Eggman would, fight back and do something to him, but I guess he didn't think about that. He should have had a backup plan. And then the other issue, this one's also one of my favorites because of, one, it shows Blaze being here, and, helping out, and of course, the monkey who got us all infected, got everyone infected on the ship. Yeah, you. Oh man, when he was revealed, man, people were like, you again. But he's making up for it. And then of course the return of Surge and Kit. Them being here, and Surge being bored that there's no heroism to do or anything. And of course we're seeing the thing that Kit is doing, making danger for Surge to solve. He put a bomb on a thing, and insert, no one even noticed that he did that. And I love how he is unaffected by this. Everyone is shaken up, but not him. He is evil. He is evil. Also, real quick, I loved how we had a bit more interaction between Ken and Tails again. Anyway, yeah, so I also love this one part right here. Even though it's not a Blaze and Surge fight, it's close enough, kinda. Seeing them run, it's so cool seeing them running around like that. But, I also love this moment right here that, Surge's like, hey, I'm helping you. I'm like, hey, you took out our support, now Talent's singing faster. And even though Surge will continue arguing, she, like, immediately, like, ugh, fine. Like, at least she's trying. She is trying, but she's going about it the wrong way. But this is something that I like for her. No, her in the anti-hero route. She's trying, but she's not, like, doing it the accurately way. The good way. Oh, and then... this one thing. Also, I loved how... Tails basically asking Kid to help, but Kid's like, yeah, shut up. Don't you have a brilliant gizmo that fits everything? But Tails is like, no. You're the only one who can do it. Stop being mean, let's go do it already. And you can tell that Kid was taken aback by that. He wasn't expecting Tails to snap back at him and was like, hey, no, I can't do anything. You can, not me. So, I like that. And then, I like how Surge is actually going inside the doors, going around. Oh, yeah. From here, there. Oh, I didn't even know Tails was up there. Nice. Also, I love this. I didn't know Kid can do that, but I loved this moment. Right here, I loved it. But also, this thing right here concerns me again, because... Kit... I am so scared of when Surge is gonna find out. Oh boy, her heart's gonna be shattered. And then, the big one that we've all been waiting for. The death of Mimic. This was a great issue. Great issue. I loved how everyone was written. Everyone did their part. Even though I would have loved to see more of Silver doing something or interacting with what's the word? Silver interacting more with Mimic. It was great seeing everyone like being smart. They were onto him. Keeping an eye on him at every point, not letting him trick them again. So I'm really glad how smart they were here. Now, we all know that, what's the word? Mimic fell right here, and Whisper fell right there, and Mimic fell all the way down. Now, these are bits and pieces of, Mimic's tentacles, so he is injured, but, excuse me. The chances of him being back. Now, I'm not gonna say that I don't want him being back, but you have to wonder what else they could do for him. Like, what else could they do for him if they bring him back? What else? Like, are they really gonna make him do another, disguise himself plot again? Like, I don't know what else they can do for him. Like, I don't know what else. Excuse me. The only thing I can see him doing is, like, imagine if the blast and the injuries were so severe that Mimic couldn't use his mimicking powers anymore. Like, imagine that. Like, imagine his powers were gone. So that would be a great thing, a cool like thing. Like, he has to manage now going around life without being able to disguise himself anymore. That would be a cool thing. He still could be a threat because he can still use like he still has like fighting agility, kinda, and you know something like that. But I don't know what else they could do for the guy. Just saying. And then issue 80. I love this one too, but it also like led into the big climactic ending of whoever this guy is, watching everyone. And as you can see him watching Eggman there, and watching Sergeant Kid, and Sonic, Tails, that place, I don't know what it is, and Silver and Blaze, and Knuckles. So, and also right here, he's watching the circus troupe. So he's watching them, which leads into the next thing right here, the stage is set arc. This one, okay. This was the beginning of smaller, shorter arcs. 3 to 4 issues. That's what Evan said. And this arc lasted from issue 81 to issue 81 to issue 83 or 84? No, issue 84 is the next one, yeah. This was issue 81, then issue 82, and then issue 83. So yeah, 3 issues. This was only 3 issues long, and I have to say, I wish it was longer, because even though I love the introduction of Soleil / Lunar, because I like them, it was the first time having a character who has like a disorder or something because of the trauma they got from their family, but it felt like this arc should have been way longer, at least 2 more issues at least, because for one, Eggman, he literally had no reason to be in this arc, like, at all. He was just there to get in the sights. He wasn't there to steal the emerald or anything. He didn't even know about the emerald, but he was there. He was there just to create conflict. He was just there to get the sights. That's it. He didn't know Sonic was there. He didn't know the emerald was there. All he wanted was to see the sights and get ideas for his theme park. That's it. It was so random. And this last issue was focusing on the battle with Eggman, and that's it. Like, no reason at all. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Really don't. So, like, it was very strange. This whole thing was very random. Plus, Evan said that Shadow's inclusion was requested by Sega because of the year of Shadow thing, but that was also very weird because Evan said that the comics take like a year or so to come out, and this comic issue came out after the year of Shadow ended, a year after the year of Shadow. So, like, what? Like, there was no reason for Shadow to be in here. It couldn't have been anyone else anyway. Like, again, it felt like they were included here to create conflict, and, like, it was very strange. And then the whole thing with Soleil and their alter ego, Lunar. Like, they should have had more time with that character to showcase who the family is and how they were raised up and everything. Like, there's still so much mystery to that. Like, even though this is a kid's book, I wish that, I know it doesn't really seem believable that Soleil's parents were able to flip aside so quickly. Plus, we don't even know how they will treat Soleil afterwards. Will they treat the siblings any different? Like, I don't know. We don't even know the siblings, like, their personalities. We never even got into, like, to talk to them in any time. We only got to see them unmasked. That's it. Like, there should have been way more story with them. And then, there's also this thing about Tails figuring out that each of the spots that that their family visited matched up with each of the emeralds that were stolen. So, did Lunar steal all the emeralds and then give them to our mystery villain? Because the mystery villain was watching the circus troupe. So, but Lunar would need a reason to steal the emerald. Someone needed to guide them, whatever. So, what if the mystery villain saw the circus troupe, saw the alter ego, and told them to steal the emerald? I'm just saying, there's a lot of mystery thing that they should have had more time with. But yeah, this arc should have been way longer. And again, it's not on the writer's fault. Sega wanted shorter arcs for people to like jump into the story easily and everything. So yeah. Oh, okay, I get it. So the Sega set was pitched to Sega and during the Year of Shadow, and that's why they requested. Okay, that makes sense. And I know, I know they haven't said that it took a year for like, the comics to come out. So around that time when this came out, the Year of Shadow was already ended. So I get that. So but even though I still think that Shadow didn't really like need to be in here, I didn't notice like he was here, but it kind of felt random that he was here to create conflict. And it was funny because in issue 80, they were working fine and great together, and then the next issue, they're fighting. Like, huh? What are you gonna do? Anyway, so, yeah, this arc, again, should have been longer, and I wish they had more time with it. So these two, I know these were like the other ones, just other random things. So, okay. Okay, so here is the... Here are the... a tier list for each of the arts. In S tier, Tangle, Whisper, and the Metal Virus, All or Nothing, Imposter Syndrome, Battle for the Empire, Scrapnik Island, and the Writer's Arc. And then in A tier, Battle for Angel Island, Crisis City, Last Minute, Zeddy Hunt, Deep Trouble, Overpowered, The Chaotix of Anniversary Special, and Scattered Pieces, not Constant Event, whatever. Then in B tier, Faded Dr. Eggman, Out of the Blue, Bad Guys, Annual 22, Urban Warfare, and Annual 2024. And then in C tier, Fallout, Infection, Misadventures, Endless Summer, Chaos Halloween, and the Stages Set arc. Then in D, Child Races, Bandit Faces, 900th Adventure, Winter Jam, and Spring Broken. And then E tier, Test Run and Trial by Fire, and then Haven't Read, Annual 2019, Revenge of Neo Metal, and Annual 2020. That is my tier list. Okay, so after that, I might do the tier list of the... I might do a tier list of... I don't know. Either... I might do the mainline title games, because I was going to do the conversations between the characters in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, but it's way too much. Way too much. So I'm probably going to do the tier list of the mainline titles. That'll be probably the easiest thing for me. Go to bed? It's not even, it's only almost 9 o'clock. I'm not going to bed. Shut up. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, that is my tier list. Okay, yeah, so the next tier list I'm going to do is the mainline titles. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. I'm actually doing, I did this right now because one, I found time to, and B, because, the stages set arc already ended, and the next arc doesn't release till February. So I got plenty of time for all that. I might do a video on this about the Frontiers timeline thing. To talk about it, because since I am the one who kinda made this be known everywhere, I might as well talk about it. Yeah. Do a tier list on Archie? I haven't read any of the Archie issues, dude. I only read I think I only read I only seen glimpses of it, and the Mega Man crossover one a little bit, and then the ish arc thing where it had Tails fighting Sonic, and then a little bit of the Hedgehog Havoc thing. That's the only thing I ever remember even seeing. I don't have a big thing on Archie and everything anyway. I want to be able to rank it properly. But yeah, okay, that is my tier list. I'm going to end the stream there. Let me see the... Oh, you guys ranked the Writer's Arc the best. Coolly. Alright. Alright. So, I'll see you guys next time. Next time we'll be doing the mainline games as a tier list. Alright, guys. Take care, and thanks for watching.